Okay, hi. So we are recording. In this part of the video, in job 11, you're going to look at designing your dashboard. Yeah. Or in Power BI terms, dashboards actually, generally speaking, dashboards present a high level information on a single page, and the information is usually high level. That means the information is summarized. But in the case of Power BI, the designing of dashboard is done only using the Power BI service. So where you can even create data alerts and so on. So Power BI has a different idea. They have pages and they have reports. Okay, so whenever you draw something similar to Excel, you have a page here, yeah, in Power BI. And when you create multiple pages, you end up with a report, which is more of a multi-perspective view into your data set. Yeah, so you got different charts showing different things, and maybe different pages are catered for different people in a particular organization, administration, HR, finance, and so on. Yeah, so this will end up with a final report for the entire organization. So in this part of the job sheet, what we are trying to do is, wait, let's see. I'm still recording. In this part of the job sheet, what we're trying to do is we want to design this UI. Yeah, so we want this design to look like this. We have already imported the data set in the previous steps here. So if you have not done so, you can do so. All right. So in Power BI, we're going to create a dashboard that looks like this. All right. Using the data set that we downloaded. Okay. So this is how it's supposed to look like in Power BI. And I'm going to do this step by step with all of you. Okay. So we are going to start another new file. Okay. So we want to achieve this as an outcome. Excuse me, sorry. So I'm creating a new file now. I press Control N to create a new Power BI file, desktop file. Yeah, it's a keyboard shortcut. It's similar to going and saying File New. Yeah. Control N is the shortcut. Yeah. So if you like shortcuts, you can do that as well. Control N. Okay. So yeah. So we can X this away. We are not signing in yet. Okay. So Power BI is loading up. Okay. So now this is a new untitled file. All right, so they are loading up all the different parts. Now, as you can see here under my fields, there is no data here yet. So I need to get the data again, yeah? So wherever you have downloaded your file earlier, please go to that particular location. I know that my file is of type Excel, yeah? It's an Excel file, and I know it's in my downloads. This one, we are using this today. So once you download this, you can connect. So when the data is connected, you import in the respective tables. Now this data has got 3 tables inside. Yeah, it has got 3 tables. Okay, so it has got an orders table, a returns table, and a users table. Now this is like a store in the US that is selling items, an online store. So they have a list of all their orders that are shipped out to various customers along the US. So let's load this data and look at this data first, okay? So it's now importing the tables here. Yeah. Okay. Now, every time you load a data into Power BI, if the data is not real time or not a live connection, there will be a data model that is created here. Yeah. So it's now loading the data to this model, such that Power BI can easily and quickly work with the data sets. So it detects relationships between the tables as well. If there's any links between the tables, for example, if they're connected via order ID and so on. But we are not going to do multi tables. We are going to focus only on one table for now. Yeah. So let us expand the orders table. Okay. Wait. It's lagging a bit. Yeah. So now I've expanded the orders table and I see a lot of columns here. So these are all the different fields that are present in my data set. Now this might seem a bit daunting because we don't understand what is this data about. So it's always good to go and have a look at the data itself, the underlying data. So if we click on the data view, it will present us a table of the data itself. So now it's loading up the orders table. Yeah, so let's wait for that. Okay, so these are all the rows here. So let us just try and go through and understand a bit of the rows here before we actually start building our dashboard. All right, so we can see that there are many rows here. All right, first of all, I want to identify any anomalies here. I don't know what this data is about. Every column seems to have a label, which seems to make sense, like customer ID, customer name, and so on. So I will just go down. So, or you can just select a cell here, and then use your keyboard to just see through. So this product category, product subcategory, product container, product name, product base margin, country, region, state or province, city, the postal code, the order date, the ship date, the profit, the quantity ordered, sales, the order ID. Okay, and then we have two blank columns here, yeah? Column 26 and column 27. So I'm quite curious what they are. So let's see. Yeah. So I want to see, when you click on this drop down, we can see that the data is only consists of blanks, yeah? So theoretically, this is not useful data. Yeah, blanks are not useful. Okay, and then let's see what column 27 is about. It's also blanks, yeah? So what we can do is, if let's say the column is not useful to us, we can just delete away so that it will not confuse us when we have so many data sets here. So we can right click on this and then we can delete the column away. So it will ask you, are you sure? Yes. No, this step is what we call data pre-processing, where we are trying to understand the data, clean up the data. So I'm doing some deleting now, right? So that is considered cleaning, yeah. So column 26 as well. We don't want that, so I'll go and delete that away as well. Okay, so it's refreshing the data model. And we are done. Okay, so we can see that these are all the orders, yeah, from, I'll give you a second, it's loading, yeah. We can see these are all the orders, yeah. There are row IDs for each order, yeah. And then we can see some priorities here. So if we click on this, we can see that these are like categorical values. So there's only a few categories, yeah. There are 1, 2, 3, 5 categories in total. Is the order priority critical, high, low, medium, or is it not specified? Okay, so this is a categorical value. Now, discount. Discount is more like a running value. I believe this is in percentage. So the amount of discount that is applied to each order, is it 0%, And the max discount that we can see is 21%. Yeah. So this is quite nicely done. So these are running numbers. These are not exactly very categorical. Unit price is definitely not categorical because it can vary so much. So yeah, so these are all the different types of devices they are selling, and the unit price. That means one product, how much it costs. Yeah, so the most expensive product is $6,783, and the cheapest one is $1.14. Yeah. Okay. So let's click this away, and then you have the shipping costs that is related to the ship mode, I believe. So we can just look at the shipping cost as well. So this is the shipping cost. It's also a very it's a running number which is continuous, so it's quite variable. And then we have IDs for each customer, so to see which customer is coming back. Yeah, and this is the customer name. Yeah, so usually the ID and the name are tagged together. Uh, okay, so and then you have the ship mode, which should be a categorical value. Yeah, because and as we can see, there are only three types. Either it's a delivery truck if it's nearby, or it's two different types of air freight. Yeah, so it's either express or regular. So I believe the express should be more expensive when it comes to shipping costs. And customer segment, whether the customer that we are referring to is a small business owner, is a home office owner, is just a normal consumer like you and me, or maybe it's a corporate organization, a big organization. Yeah. So there are four categories as well. So this is categorical. Now their products are also categorical, but I believe their product categories are quite. Okay. So they have three categories. Yeah, furniture, office supplies, and technologies. So this particular company focuses on these three products: furniture, office supplies, and technology related products. Now these are very general. Furniture can mean a lot of things. Technology is such a big word. Yeah. So there are subcategories as well. So we can see from one look that office materials, usually there's office machines, office furnishings, and technology wise they have computer and peripherals. Yeah. Yeah, and for office they have envelopes, labels, and so on. Yeah, so we can see this here. Then they have product subcategory, product container. Yeah, what is the size of the container that is used to store this product? And then they have the product name itself. So this is highly unique, I think, depending on which customer orders what product. Product base margin, I believe, is the amount of money they are making on each particular product. This I'm not too sure. Yeah, but we won't be using this a lot. Okay. Now country is here. So they have only this data set is only for the United States. Yeah, but the US is also very big. So and they have different regions for the US. So they're defining the regions in US as central, east, south, and west. Yeah, and then the state or province. Yeah, which state they are sending it to, which city, what's the postal code of the person. Yeah, and then all the other details: the ship date, the order date, the profit, the quantity ordered, the amount of money they made through sales, and the order ID. Yeah, so this is quite a lengthy data set. Yeah, it's quite comprehensive. Okay, so we have understood this orders table. Yeah, or at least we have a working understanding of it. All right, so let's go back to our design view and let's see what we need to design. Okay, so going back to the job sheet, we can see that there are a few things. There are a few things in this particular screen, right? So let's see under design, I think, or if not, what I do. There are okay. I just use my snipping tool. I just take off. Okay. So over here, we can see that there is a card here. Yeah. This is a card. Yeah. We can easily see that this is a card view as well. Yeah, and this is a card. So there are three cards here. Yeah. There are 3 cards here. And then over here we can see that there is a map. Yeah. We have learned a few types of maps, basic map and field map. This looks more like a basic map, yeah, because they're not filling the areas with you're not filling the entire region. All right, so there's 3 cards, 1 map. There are some text here, yeah, to describe the dashboard, and then there seems to be 1 icon here, yeah, which is most likely an image. Yeah, should be an image. All right, so we can start to design this. Yeah, let's not even worry about what is inside, but let us fill up the design with the appropriate views. Okay, so let's go to our designing view. I'll close away my fields. We're not going to use them for now. So we know that there are cards. So let's click on the first card. So a card pops up. I'm going to drag it and just put it somewhere here. And then I'm going to say Control C and Control V to clone this card, yeah, so you can quickly get another card. Okay, and then I'll do a Control V again to get a third card so that I can put it here. Yeah, so now these cards are roughly distributed on the horizontal, in a horizontal fashion. Yeah, and on our left we had some words here. Yeah, so under this home tab we can actually see a text box here. So let us click on the text box. Yeah, this will pop up a text box where we can type some words. And I remember the words earlier were sales overview. Yeah, so I'll type that first, sales overview. And yeah, I'm right. So I go back and check the dashboard. This is sales overview. Okay, so what we can do is, also it looks a bit too small, so therefore I'm gonna highlight this, and we can just make a rough guess on the font size. Yeah, so I think it's 32. Okay, and then I'm gonna make this box smaller such that it can fit inside the dashboard. Okay, so you can drag the grid lines like this, and then let us drag this over here. Okay, so now we have our dashboard with the word sales overview here. Now we had an icon at the top here. Yeah, so you're free to use whatever icon you want. Okay, so you can download an icon, or you can draw an icon using PowerPoint. Yeah, so I have an icon that I think I already have. So let's see my downloads. I think it's my desktop. Yeah, I have an icon here. So I'd like to put this icon inside the dashboard. Yeah, so in order to put an image here, or icon, we can use the insert, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, insert, yes, and then you see this option here, image. So select the image. They'll allow you to select your image now. So you go to wherever your image is stored. My image is here, and they should pop my image up on the dashboard. Yeah, so my icon is here. I'm going to resize my icon a bit, make it a bit smaller, and I'm going to move my icon to somewhere here. Yeah, such that I get the same effect as the dashboard here. Yeah, the icon and then the words. Now the icon looks a bit too big still, so I want to make it a bit smaller, and then move it in. Yeah, oh sorry, this is a bit too small. Sorry, this is a bit too small still. Let me adjust the... Yep. Okay, I think that is about right. So yeah, okay. So you can see this dashboard is about sales overview. And finally, at the bottom here, this whole space is filled up by a map. And this is not our field map. Since it's dots, we can see that this is a basic map here. Let's click on map and we should get a map. So I'm going to just space them out right in the right fashion, since it's using the entire area here. And then let us always use the grid lines to help us. So you see this red grid line coming out. So this will help us align it to the top as well. Yeah, so there's some form of alignment that makes it look a bit more pleasing aesthetically to the eye. Okay, so we have the skeleton done. Yeah, we have the skeleton done. All right. So now in the next part, we need to fill in the numbers, yeah, and then start formatting and beautifying the dashboard. Okay. So in this part, we need to let's take it one at a time. So let's start with the first card on the top left here. Now over here, you can see the word orders, yeah. So we can make a rough guess that this is the total number of orders that was served. So how can we find the total number of orders served? So we can go under fields, yeah. Expand the orders table because we are working with the orders table. Okay, so let us select this as well. Select this view. Now, each order has an order ID, yeah? That we know. ID will always be unique, yeah? So, therefore, if you want to know the total number of orders, we just need to count the number of order IDs, right? So, we can make a logical decision here and then pull out the order ID onto the fields. Okay, and we can see that we get the number 1952, yeah? It's 1952, yeah. Okay, so that seems quite correct, okay? And at the same time, it'd be nice if we can format this as well, yeah? Since we don't see the words at the bottom, yeah? And we see the word at the top here usually means it's a title, okay? So we can turn off the data label, which is at the bottom, and then we can add some border. You see these lines here, these are called borders here. And then there's a background color of something like a light gray. Okay, so we need to start formatting it. We need to format the background color. We need to add a border. We need to add a title. Okay, so let us resize this a bit as well. Oh no, let's leave the size. Okay, now let us go to the format button. Okay, and then settle the things I was mentioning. So let us take away the category such that there's no label on the what type of category it is. Let us turn on title, yeah. So title will appear on top. And let us fill up some words. So if we expand title, we can give it some text and we can say orders, yeah. So now we can see that the orders, the title appears at the top left. We want to position it in the center. So we can see this alignment. Let's align it to the center. Yeah, and then let's change the font size to become bigger, maybe 24. Okay. So this is our orders. All right. Okay. Then we need to do some background and borders. So now the background is here. Okay, so we go to the background. We saw that the color was something of sort of a light gray shade. So let us pick a color that is similar, yeah. Okay, so you see this light gray shade. Okay, that seems a bit darker. Maybe we pick something lighter. Okay, let's pick this one. Yeah, this looks a bit lighter. Okay, and then let us set some borders for it, yeah. See this word border? Right now, if I click away and we look at the chart, it doesn't have any black border to it, yeah. Whereas you see here, there's some black lining here. We call this a border, yeah, a border. So we need a border here. So, and then let us go to the borders. Let's turn on the borders first so that there'll be some borders appearing. And then the color is this, okay. And let us see, that means the border should have appeared. Okay, now it looks more like a rectangle, yeah. But if you see this at the corner here, we have some form of a curve here. We call this a radius, yeah, a radius. There is a radius here there is a radius here. Okay, so how do we get these curves at the edges? So we can select this view again. We go under format, under borders. So you see this word radius. Let us try, okay? Let's say a radius of 10. Let us go and have a look. Okay, so you get some form of curve, but this curve is quite small, yeah? See the edge here is now curved. If you want the edge to be more defined or more curvy, we can select this view again. Go under the paintbrush. Under borders, yeah. I think I will put to 20, yeah. So it's very defined, yeah. Okay. Okay, and at the same time, we can see the curves here. Sorry. Let me reposition this. Okay, and at the same time, I feel this is a bit too big because it's going edge to edge. So I'm going to make this smaller. And I'm going to make this smaller, yeah. So in the later part, we're going to adjust them to be the same size. Okay. All right. So, or in the other case, what we can do is instead of redesigning this entire thing, we can just delete away this view, select this view, and then if you hit the backspace, oh, you can't, sorry, you hit the delete key, it should delete away this view. And let us also delete away this view. Since you have the formatting here, we can select this view and create clones, Control C, Control V. So we get a clone of this view. So the formatting is here, yeah. You don't have to reformat it. Okay, and then let's align it this way such that the grid line centralizes it to the map and the bottom and top are aligned to the first card. Okay. And then let us do Control V again to get one more card here. Yeah. Okay. So now we have 3 parts. We have 3 designs as well. So in the second part, we are talking about profit. And in the third part, we're talking about locations. Okay. So now let us go and try and find the data. Okay. Since the designing is done, let's go and find the data. So this one is not about orders. So let us clear this field first. So it's talking about profit. So there was, if we remember carefully, there was a profit field, yeah. For each order, what was the profit? So we can take a sum of all these numbers, yeah. So let us put the profit field here. Okay, and then we can see that how are we handling all the numbers? We are summing the numbers, yeah. This is the summary statistics. We are summing the numbers, and the profit is 224.08K, yeah. Okay, now as we can see here, it's presented with a dollar sign first, which is nice, yeah. So it knows that we're talking about money, and it has got 1 decimal place, yeah. So how can we handle this? We can handle this by clicking on the field itself here. Since profit is always a money, it's always talking about money at least. We select this field, yeah, and we will see that there are some formatting options, yeah, that will pop out. So profit is the column. Now, you see this format here. Instead of general, we can convert this to currency, yeah. So what happens here is you will see a dollar sign pop up. Okay, so that's nice, right? So we have a dollar sign. So we're talking about money. And this here is the number of decimal places, yeah? Change the number of decimal places as shown for this value, right? So instead of auto, I want to put it to 1 decimal place, yeah? Okay, 1 decimal place. So earlier it was 0, so it went to 0 decimal place, and now it's going to 1 decimal place, yeah? And we get that. And let's change the title for this. It's not orders. So therefore, we go under format and change the title. Profit, yeah? Okay. So we have done the profit, yeah? And now, finally, for the third card here, it's talking about locations. Yeah, so there are 49 locations throughout the US, apparently, that they have shipped their products to. So how can we find this? So first of all, since we are here and I've selected this, let us change the title to locations. Yeah, and let us go back under the fields view. Let us delete away order ID. This is not order ID. So now, how do we count the different locations? So we can see that they have a state or province, right? So if we can count the number of state or provinces, we get the locations, right? So right now, when I take and throw this in, it tells me the first state or province. Yeah. Now I don't want that sort of form of summarization. I don't want the first or the last. I want to count. Yeah. So let me do a count. Now within count, there are two types of count. Yeah. The first type of count is it just counts the total occurrence of all the data. Yeah, irregardless whether it's repeated or not. For example, you can ship to Alabama 3 times. So there will be 3 different counts. But if you do a count distinct, you'll only find Alabama as one count. Yeah. Okay, so in this case, we want to use a count distinct because we just want to know the locations, right? So how many different locations have we shipped to in the US? And we can see that this particular organization has shipped to 49 different locations in the US. Okay. And finally here on the data view. On the data view, we have the maps, right? We have the map. So within the map, we are going to look at profit by state. Yeah. So the title here actually gives us a hint. Yeah. Profit by state. So we're breaking it down by the region, central, east, south, west. So we know we need the profit, we need the state, we need the region. There are 3 items. So let us handle the profit first, yeah? So since we are here, profit, let's take the profit, yeah? And I believe the profit is going to fall under the size, yeah? Okay, why do I guess that? Because the circles here, the bigger size areas show a greater profit, whereas the smaller size circles show a lower profit, yeah? So you see this word size, so profit should be under size. Okay, but still meaningless because we don't have any locations, yeah? So under location, let us add the state or province, yeah? So hopefully this is auto picked up. Now if the data set has got very good names of all the different locations, you see, so now it managed to figure out all the names, yeah? And it mapped it nicely. So it knows that we are talking about the United States. And these are all the different locations like Washington and so on, yeah? All right. Now, the next thing that we see is that the color of all the circles is the same, yeah? The color. We want to separate the color by the region, yeah? You can see the color is separated by the region here. So the light blue is central, the dark blue is east, the purple is west, and the orange is south. All right. So what we can do... Oh, sorry. I think I shifted the map away. Okay. Now, what we can do to color it is, you can select the region and put it in the legend. A legend usually helps us separate data. Okay, so now we get our colors as well. Yeah. So the only thing we are left to do is to give it a title and increase the size of the title. Yeah. Which I believe you guys can do now, right? So with that, you just need to go under the paintbrush and then find the title and change the size, and find the legend and then change the size. Yeah. Okay. So with that, thank you. I hope you have got some insights onto how to design a nice dashboard. In the second part, you will be working. This dashboard is not exactly very nice. Yeah, it's very superficial. As in, it's only showing a few things. Real intensive dashboards will look something like this, where there are more numbers, where there are more KPIs. So in the second part, you're going to be trying to build this dashboard on your own. Okay. So I wish you all the best with that.